Good morning, everyone. It's Corinne with pnptribe.com. I'm going to talk today about why it feels so hard to get back on plan when you fell off your diet. This actually came up, y'all. I'm gonna have to. I know this is terrible, but I am wearing the most uncomfortable shoes. Couldn't find my tripod, couldn't figure out a place to put my camera. So I'm standing in my kitchen and just noticed that I have the world's worst bra on for this sweater. So it's been an eventful morning. This morning's getting started off righteous. But I have the calls all day long today, and I had to get that shower in. So if y'all are going to, I know some of you are going to come in and be like, oh my God, you look like you're like clean and you look like somebody. It's like, yeah, sometimes I take a shower and put on my makeup. Today's one of those days. So here we go. Why does it feel so damn hard? All right. I happened to be talking last night. I teach a class once a month for another instructor who does all kinds of like thought work and just mental management and stuff. If you're interested in her podcast, it's really good. It's called The Life Coach School. Her name's Brooke Castillo. But I teach at her, she has a website, just like I have a website, where we have clients and stuff that we work with on helping them just, like for me, it's all about the weight loss. I lost 100 pounds. I want to help other women lose weight and, start living the life that they've been putting on hold because of their weight. And she does a lot more. She does other things, including weight loss, but she focuses more on just the overall becoming the best version of yourself. So I teach for her once a month. And last night was my night. And someone asked a question on the call that I had never heard of, which please do not take this wrong, but it's really hard for me to find something where I'm just like, well, that one's a stumper. And this was a stumper. So it was called spontaneous recovery. And once I researched the concept, it bothered me last night. Guys, I can't stand it when there's something that I think is going to help people and I don't know what it is. So I immediately started researching. I was like, this is what we're talking about tomorrow, because this is such a struggle bus topic for all of my tribe members. Y'all know that we spend, if you listen to the podcast, Losing 100 Pounds, if you do the free course over at pnp411.com, if you're one of my tribe members, we spend so much time talking about forming new habits. So let's say, for instance, that every day you overeat at 8 o'clock at night. And we spend a lot of time unwrapping that, a lot of time helping you get past overeating at 8 o'clock at night. And then you don't do that for a while, right? All of a sudden, one night at 8 o'clock, your husband's like, oh my God, ice cream would be just so good. Let's do this. And you're just like, yeah, well, one time won't hurt. And you've been 3 months without it. Now, guys, this can apply to, I've been following my meal plan every single day. I've been food prepping. I've been going to the gym. I quit smoking. I quit drinking, or I reduced this, whatever your habit is, right? What happens is that when you work really hard at it, you extinguish the want to do it. Every now and then you'll want to do it, but the majority of the time you go through phases. The first few times you do not eat at 8 o'clock at night feels like complete asshole. It is terrible. And so then you go a few more days and you start realizing it's bad, but it's not horrible. I can do this. Then you go a few more days and you start realizing you wake up in the morning and you feel better, and you're starting to get the momentum of it. After a few weeks or so, you start becoming the kind of person who doesn't overeat every night at 8 o'clock. And you don't really think about it anymore. You start thinking more about whatever it is you're now doing. Okay. Then the husband comes in, wants the ice cream. Your brain immediately says, ooh, one time won't hurt. We have been so good the last few months. This will be great. So you do it. And then the next night, you grab ass a little bit. So you just you don't really go for all the ice cream and everything, but your husband's sitting there, he's having some chips, and you're just oh, give me a couple. The next thing you know, your brain is into every single night. It wants the food again. You're battling it. So you're going backward on how you unwrapped it. So it was, I'm in total control, to now I just kind of think about it. Then it starts turning into so hard to say no. The next thing you know, you're on the struggle bus and you just give up because your brain starts saying things like, I knew this wouldn't last. Or you start going into all of this drama around how I was doing so good and now I'm a failure. Like, I don't even know, like, why can't things last for me? Like, it feels like it's all back, like you've made zero progress. That is what spontaneous reconditioning is. So essentially I read about it and stuff, and I just want to put my own spin on it so that you guys can completely understand what's truly going on from my weight loss perspective. I'm pretty sure that if you go to psychology.com or a big ass psychiatrist comes on here or something, I may be butchering it, but I'm going to tell you the common sense version. And then you guys can decide if this is like, let me just say this. If it sounds familiar, it feels right, it fits, it probably does. So here we go. When you take the time to unwrap and you get into all these good habits and stuff, guys, you have basically retired the version of you that relied on the food. Then when you reintroduce it, what happens is those thought patterns, like all of the things that you said, the desire and everything, it never went away. It was just always there and your brain wasn't accessing it. So when you tap back in and you start doing a behavior, creating some kind of like trigger, it triggers all the thoughts too. It's not just triggering the behaviors. So what I think happens is that when you have a few days and the first time you start thinking about this sucks, I'm a terrible person, I'm a failure, I just don't know why it's so hard to get back on track. It's not that you suck and that you're a failure and that it's hard to get back on track. It is your brain is just throwing all the old garbage at you at one time. That's really all that's happening. If you break it down into what's really going on, you may have 3 weeks of eating off plan, like 21 days. I want you to think about, okay, rather than me thinking, I'll never get this, I'm a failure, I'm all these other things, I just want you to say, there's been 21 days I haven't done a food plan. So now I need to collect 21 days. You need to break it more down into just, this is literally simple math. The drama piece has to come out. But the reason why it feels so insurmountable is because of the stuff you'll say. And that's just all those old thought patterns are going to come along for the ride when you reignite the old behavior patterns. That's literally all that's going on. It's a matter of just conditioning and deconditioning, conditioning and deconditioning. So if you want to get back on track, I know this sounds so simple and all of you are just like, oh my God, when you say it out loud, it makes so much sense. But when I think it, I'm just like, no. Literally, the way to get back on track is to tell yourself, if I could do it once, I can do it again. The second time, and here's the gravy part, okay? So the first time you decondition, like let's say that you've been, I'm going to talk to my tribe members. For all of you who like bitch and moan about the 4 basics. You're like, oh my God, I can't even do the 4 basics. I'm such a loser. I used to do them all the time. Like, I want you to hear this. They are simple. Your brain's not lying. You just need to cut out the part that says that for some reason I'm so weird because I can't do them. You need to just go into and just say like, look, I'm going to plug these in and I'm going to keep doing it and I'm going to shut it down on the math side and I'm going to break it down to simple steps. Number 1, like the food plan. I will make my 24-hour plan every single day for a month. The execution piece will come. Right now, I have to work on the execution of actually doing it. The if you've done it before piece, I'm going to tell all of you, for all of you who get so riled up about falling off the wagon, you have conditioned, like, you know how like you think it's like, oh my gosh, it all comes back when I trip up. Guess what? If you've conditioned your brain to do it right once before, then it's easier to go back to doing it right again. Those thought patterns are also sitting there, ready to ignite. All of it's there. The only thing that literally is stopping any of you is going to come down to thinking you're a failure. It's like, no, you're not writing. There's no failure, guys. Like, quit saying, well, I'll never lose weight. No, you can lose weight. Guess what? You start writing. Stop telling yourself, like, stop talking to yourself and start doing more. That's what it boils down to. So just to sum it up, when you've been on a roll and you feel like you suddenly aren't, it was a slow grade. You went right back down the scale. It's just all the, like, whatever the old version of you, like the how she thought and how she felt and how she acted, that just reignites. The version of you that was doing all of it has unignited. It's been extinguished for just a little bit. It's waiting for you to reignite it, just like the old version. So if one can happen, the other can happen just as easily. The only thing stopping it is bullshit you're going to think to not do the work. So get over that part. You're going to think shit. I promise you. Like, just embrace it and move on at the same time. I was writing in my own journal this morning, and I was writing down like the things I wanted to get done today. And I wrote down the things I'm likely to think about and the things I'm like the excuses I'm likely to make, the actions I'm likely to take that aren't going to get me to my end goal today. And I wrote all of it down so that I would know what to be aware of all day long. So that when it's, and I've already, like, what time is it? Like 8:15? It's 8:15, and I've already told myself no to about at least 30 errant thoughts. Like, I literally got up this morning at 4:45, made my plan for the day, and by 8:15, I've already told myself like 30 times, no, we're not doing that today. Oh, that's funny you're even thinking about that. Oh, you knew you would think about it at like 5 o'clock when you were making that plan. Guys, the best way to change yourself is to get aware of your own shit you say on the inside. That is literally the only things stopping you guys from losing weight. It is not your mama. It is not your past. It's not your husband's chips. It's not your Christmas parties. It's not your genes. I don't give a damn if you're 75 years old. I got women who have done every excuse you're holding on to, have lost anywhere from 50 to 150 pounds, proving your ass wrong. You need to not allow yourself to believe such bullshit about your ability to lose weight, and just tell yourself, like, I don't do that anymore. Why not just decide? Like, seriously, just decide today, I'm ready to prove myself wrong. Like, I think a lot of crap. Rather than proving myself right every day by shoving a ding dong in my mouth because I'm sad, I'm going to prove myself wrong that I can feel sad without a ding dong in my mouth. Start there. Before you start getting happy, just quit eating. And if you want to be sad, be sad. If you want to be mad, be mad. Like, I love it when you guys are pissed at your husbands for offering you food, and then you eat out of vengeance. I'm like, yeah, that worked really well. Way to go. There ain't one person but suffering here. It's called you. All right, a couple of announcements, and then I'm going to answer questions. So, the New Year's Challenge is getting ready to open up for signups. I think it opens up a week from today. There will be no shortage of Facebook posts. The groupies, you guys will get Facebook posts with the links. If you're on my mailing list, you will get the email. All of that will go out starting next Wednesday. So if you're the challenge is running the 26th through the 30th. So we will start the day after Christmas, and you'll get a video from me. We have a brand new workbook for this one. I love this workbook. It has a little bit more notes in there. I wanted to really give you guys something other than just worksheets. I wanted to kind of, for my people who like to read, I wanted to give you like, here is like what you need to know in the workbook. Here are the worksheets, and plus you're getting the video. There will be a daily Facebook Live. That daily Facebook Live will be taking place here on this page. We are not doing it in the groupies. For all of my groupies, the reason why we're doing this is because my tribe members really love my lives. And I don't want them to have to join the free group and be distracted from what they're working on inside of Tribe. They get so much content they don't need to be over there too. So I'm doing it for the tribe. We're going to do it on this public page. And the groupies, what I'll do each day is I will download the video and I will re-upload it into your group so that you don't have to like look and dig and find for it. So that will not be a problem. And then tribe members, here's what you're getting. So if you guys want the workbook, we are going to put the workbook inside of Tribe so that if you guys want to, what we're going to focus on the last week of December is you guys are doing a deep dive into the 4 basics. We're kind of like rebooting. And then the entire month of January, while the babies are there, for all existing tribe members, we're going to go deeper and deeper into the things that you've told us about the 4 basics that you need the most help on to make them seamless and easy and consistent and understandable. Anything that you like, we're just going deep. So all of my Facebook Lives and everything will be all around that. But during the challenge, you guys will have access to the lives, of course, because they'll all be on this page. We will make sure all of my tribe members know when I'm coming live and all that kind of good stuff. So the challenge is always fun. Guys, I'm telling you, every day you're going to get help in your email on a basic that helps you lose weight. I try to keep weight loss so simple. I just don't think that people that have battled obesity most of their life need a complicated fucking plan. I think we all need an easy plan. So you're going to be getting those basics in your email. Then each day, my Facebook Live, it's going to be about the bullshit you think. Like, I'm afraid I'm going to fail. We're going to talk more about our fears and anxieties around weight loss and how we have to lose mental weight in order to lose our physical weight. Every woman I know that battles weight, she ain't got a potato chip problem. She has a showing up for herself emotionally problem. She's eating chips because she wants to feel good rather than figuring out how to fucking feel good in the world. So we're going to talk all about the emotional side during the Facebook Lives. And plus you get to answer questions. Then the tribe opens on December 30th, everyone. So we're going to rock and roll this year. Got exciting things planned. I'm so excited. I've been working on the Q1 things that as a team we'll be working on to make sure that Q1 is amazing. And then, so we'll open on the 30th and then we'll close on January the 3rd. And then we will not reopen again until spring. So if you want in, you need to get in. If you want your 2019 to start unconventionally, unlike any other year that you've joined the gym and fizzled out after 6 weeks or started like some amazing keto shake program or whatever bullshit you did last year, just think for a hot second that if you started something in 2018 and you couldn't do it because it like didn't address emotionally what was going on for you, then think about doing something different this year. And even my tribe members, if this year, I want you to think about, we'll talk about this inside the tribe, but I want you thinking about what have I learned this year in tribe that sets me up for success in 2019? Get into the Facebook group and you guys start talking about this stuff now. You have so many people that have killed it this year in weight loss. Like Cheryl Bennett's on here. I saw her telling me hello. She's on here. Like we have people in the tribe who have a vault of experience this year doing all the things to lose weight. Like Chelsea Tucker. Like you guys need to get in there and you need to be talking to some of these girls who have killed it this year. Bobby Ritchie is another one. Lindsey Graham. We have plenty in there that will help you like parcel out. Like, here's what I did this year. Here's all the mistakes I made. But they kept going. And that is the thing I want all of us to remember is that any diet program that is trying to sell you on the idea that you are not going to have mistakes, like they're going to set you up for fast, perfect weight loss results, are hosing your ass. You have to learn how to show up when it doesn't go right. You have to learn how to try a lot of things with yourself. You have to learn how to be open and move forward and not closed-minded and scared. And then we'll close up and then we'll be working with New Year's babies all the way for 8 weeks. So all you New Year's babies will have 8 weeks with me and Coach Betsy and the other coaches in your baby group. Then you go to the main tribe. All right. What if the bullshit thing I started this year was the tribe, but I didn't do it? Leslie Kinney, you know what I think about that. you need to get back to your basics. Like, the tribe was not the bullshit thing. You know what the bullshit was, Leslie? All that fucking shit you post that you think about. That is the stuff that you're going to need to work on. I am telling you, my program gets results. It gets results for the people who do journaling almost every day. And I mean thought journaling. Like, if you don't like your life, you should be fucking writing about your life right now and not bitching to someone about it. Like, your life is your life to change. Get out a thought download and do one. And don't whine and don't piss in your diaper about like, I don't like writing about my problems. No, you just like wearing them on your ass. So you can either decide to wear the problems on the outside, or you can write about them and look at them and get moving. And if you want a coaching call, Leslie, we have coaches hours all this week. Like, I think Saturday, I know there's coaching calls on Saturday with the coaches. So I think it starts at noon. There's no signups. You just show up on Zoom, raise your hand, and they will call on you. And then I know I've got one today. You ought to check the schedule. I think there might be an opening. Noon today, I'm coaching. So check the schedule. There's always somebody who cancels last minute. Y'all, if you're in the tribe, you should always be checking that schedule on the day of a call. All right, let's go back to see who's got questions. And I'm going to tell you, and Leslie, this isn't just for you, but if you are one of my tribe members, and I am the bullshit thing you started last year, and you don't plan to use it, then quit. Like, don't sit there and act like this doesn't work. Just be honest. Say, I don't work it. You have two choices. You can quit it and be the person who doesn't work it, or you can be like, oh my God, there's like all these people getting results. I should probably go in there and ask a fucking question. Where should I start? I should probably push play on module 1 and start at the beginning. There's no shame in the starting over game, guys. None. You know where shame originates from? Your thoughts about what you are or are not doing. That is where shame comes in. If you are not thought downloading, if you are not journaling, if you're not applying yourself, your thoughts are what create your shame. Your thought could also be like, I am never too good to start at the beginning. I'm just ready to fix this problem. And like all this crappy shit that I think about myself needs to take a back seat to my desire to fix this weight problem. That can always happen if you want to. And guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you got to think like that, like all day. Like every time your brain wants to throw a fit and tell you how terrible you are and how you ain't up for it and you should just quit, and this is too hard, and this doesn't make sense, that's crap. Tell every bit of it. I don't care if it takes 5 million times a day. Tell every bit of it. Take a back seat because I'm solving my problems. When I weighed 250, I had all of that shit going on, but I was invested in myself. I was just like, no, I'm so tired of feeling this way. I'm ready to figure this out. I had more determination to figure out my problems than I had to sit in them. And that's what a lot of you've got to do. You need to come up with your reason for why fixing it and not eating when you're emotionally hungry is way more important than sitting there and just ignoring it, sweeping it under the rug, blaming your mother-in-law, blaming your husband, blaming your children, blaming your past, that guy that bullied you when you're 12, what your daddy didn't tell you at 14. Get over that stuff. You're grown up. We all are. Ain't nobody on here sitting around at 15 listening to me right now. If you're under the age of 15, then yeah, go ahead. You don't have the emotional capability yet. But I'm going to tell you right now, I got a 16-year-old autistic son. If he can do thought work, I damn sure know all of us grown-ass women can. Tammy is a PNP groupie. I'm 72 pounds down. She's like, free course. Do them basics and self-kindness. You're very welcome, Missy. Heidi, oh my God, yes. It's like drug use. If you quit and start again, you don't start over. You pick up where you left off. That's why you always stay away. There you go. Let's see. Bobby, in a positive way, when we catch it and overcome, it's like muscle memory in our brain pattern, and we can get back on track and reignite the successes we walked in before the backslide. Exactly. Jennifer is a PNP mentor. She's one of my girls. She talked about how important this is, and I know Jennifer knows how important this is. And I'm glad you're feeling better, Jennifer. I saw your post. She had emergency surgery, y'all, on vacation of all things. I was like, well, that blew a goat. But she's down 90 pounds. And I don't care where you are. There are just going to be times in life where you find your old patterns. They come back. They just come back in. But they don't have to be a catastrophe. And they don't have to be a big fucking ordeal. I tell people all the time, one of the strongest women I know one time looked at me and she just said, I don't remember what I was struggling with. I think it was with Logan, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, she just said, who better than you to deal with this? She's like, you've lost a fucking 100 pounds. She's like, you can't handle this? And then I always tell people when it comes to weight loss, it's like, if you've, like Jennifer has lost 90 pounds. She has a few bad weeks. I don't even care if it's a few bad months. And you gain a few pounds. It's like, who better than someone who has the experience of losing 90 pounds to start her shit back up? Those brain patterns are just waiting to fire off. The only thing that stops it is like when we doubt ourselves. It's like the worst that's happening right now is my self-doubt. Maybe I should write about my self-doubt and write about my confidence too. I will tell you a powerful exercise, tribe members. Write about what it is that you're afraid of, and then write about why you're not. The why you're not side may be bullshit, but I would rather you write about it so that your brain can start having something to think about. It needs to have that written down so that it can start formulating and thinking about it moving into the back of your mind, that it just comes out of nowhere sometimes. That has to happen. Someone's a first-time watcher. Hey, Rhonda, welcome. If you're a first-time watcher, I advise you to go to pnp411.com, do the free course. I also have a podcast called Losing 100 Pounds with Fit and Fat. Let's see. Can you just come live with me? You can have your own bathroom and TV. It better come with a Peloton, Tara. I'm loving my Peloton these days. In fact, I've loved it so much that my legs are wore out. And I'm having to do the floor exercises to keep my streaks going. Yesterday, I ended up doing the glute workout. Today, I did the core. I actually ended up riding today, but I did a 30-minute ride. But oh my God, the other day, I did this hour-long ride. And all day long, my legs shook. Like I would get up to go somewhere and they would just buckle. And I was like, I might need to take a rest day. Nobody needs Corinne face planting. Denise is one of my tribe members. She says, I'm going to prove myself wrong. Adios, shitty thinking. Today is a new day to seize control. That's awesome. I know, Faye, that I cuss, but that's just part of me. Sorry. You'll have to move on to another motivational weight loss person. This is perfect this morning. Mel Robbins has a free 50-day gain confidence challenge. When I found it, it's so much like what PNP teaches. Each day for 50 days, there's one small thing you can do to boost your confidence. Bonus on the page, there's a spot to do a mini TDL. Oh, that's awesome. I love when great things intertwine. I love Mel Robbins. One of my coaches really likes Mel Robbins and took one of her courses. But guys, if you want to know, she wrote a book called I think it's called the 5-Second Rule. You should look it up. If you go to, I'm pretty sure it's in my kit store, kit.com/fitandfat, PHITNPHAT. Like I have all the books that I love in there. I have like some of the, like I take a sleepy supplement at night called Doc Parsley's Sleep Remedy. It's all the rage. Helps me sleep all night. Also, just so you guys know, I finally bought myself a weighted blanket. I've been sleeping with Logan's now for about a week. I sleep like the dead between duck parsley's and that weighted blanket. Other day, I was sleeping so hard, I woke up like in the morning and I just drooled everywhere. Like, I was like, oh my God, I think I'm losing like bodily function. It's good stuff. I ordered from a company called Sensacalm, Sensa Calm. My husband found it. It's a grandmother who actually, I think she makes these blankets out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. She has a son with like unique needs and stuff, or a grandson with unique needs. So anyway, I like to support people who are just doing great things. I don't get anything from it, but feel free to, if you want a weighted blanket, to order from her, because we loved one. We got Logan, and now I'm getting me one. So if I'm on the waiting list, will I get info for the challenge? You absolutely will. Love your hair color. Thank you, Jen. I just got it done yesterday. So we bleach it. I'm a natural blonde. I'm like lighter than my eyebrows. I actually dye my eyebrows to this color. But we tone the hell out of it. I like an icy look. I don't like any kind of gold in my hair. I just always think I look better. What time is the daily live for the challenge? There will be, when you sign up, there will be a schedule. They're at different times throughout the 5 days. Some of them are at like 9 in the morning, I think, and some of them are at noon. We have a couple in the evening. So just when you sign up for the challenge, there's a page that has all the information on it. I kind of redid things this time to make it a lot easier for everyone. Look at all my New Year's babies. I cannot wait, guys. We love having our new tribe in. It just, like, we just get so many amazing people inside of tribe. Liz, I recognize the lies I tell myself, but when the rubber hits the road and I'm in the moment, I lie to myself. Help. Why can't I stay strong in the moment? It's always tomorrow. Liz, this is where I want you to back the truck up just a little bit. If you know, one of the things that you're doing really well is you've identified what you tell yourself in the moments that convinces you to eat. So now what you need to do is you need to set in some triggers to slow that moment down. To be able to like say, okay, so I know that I normally overeat at 8 o'clock, and I normally tell myself tomorrow, it'll be fine to start tomorrow. You need to visualize yourself at like 8 a.m. having that experience at night, what you're going to tell yourself, what it's likely to feel like, which is going to be ass, and you not fighting with that. Just being like, I'm fine with like my mind wanting the food over and over and over again, and make an agreement with yourself. A lot of my clients will do this. Let's say you're going to go ahead and plan exactly what you overeat every night at 8 o'clock. So you're putting that on your food plan now in its entirety and in its reality. Because what's happening right now, the reality that you're only experiencing is the lies you tell yourself that it won't matter, you'll start tomorrow and stuff like that. Now what we want to do is we actually want to get out the paper and see what we planned to eat and let your brain look at it, because now it's not going to say, well, we can start tomorrow. That's already been removed. So that lie can't come up. What it's going to do is be left to its own devices about what to think. It's like, do I really want this? Will this get me my results? If you eat it, you've ate on plan, but I will promise all of you, when you eat on plan, even if it is a craptastic, I'll never lose weight plan, if you're really wanting to lose weight, it is not near as fun. It's not easy. And you start creating that type of eating to be the miserable experience. Rather than eating in a numb state, you may enjoy the taste and be having a good time in the moment, but then you experience the miserable after. It's like, if we're going to be miserable about it, let's just be miserable in the moment when we're eating so that we can start changing the after to be the part where we feel better. So it's a process. This is like a process that we unravel and we totally unpack inside of Tribe. We have lessons. We have all this stuff. This is what we coach on. But that will get you started. If you've done the challenge before, yeah, you can sign up again. Every challenge is different. It's the same kind of stuff, but it's just like I set up new lists. So yeah, you can take it over and over again if you want. PNP Tribe member Paula. Coming up on my 1-year anniversary, lost all my weight, 27 pounds, and been maintaining for about 6 months. I turned 50 in June, and my body looks the best it ever has. Way to go, Miss Paula. There's Chelsea Tucker watching. y'all, is a beast. Let's see. Hi, Tracy. She just started listening in November, and she's making the small changes for the first time. For the first time, I felt I can do this. Yes, you can. Good morning, Miss Cher. Here's Candace, 70 pounds released in 2018 with PNP Tribe. Mistakes made and recovery done. Should I start listening to a podcast every day? Yeah, I would. Betsy's like, Leslie, get on with me, Coach Betsy. Oh, that's amazing. I like how we are. And Missy has lost, what is it, 151 pounds, Missy? I'm almost 100% sure it's either 151 or 157. I'm not sure. If you do the challenge, there's some emails where her picture is in there. You'll get to see it. Would your program work for a food addict? I think so. I teach it a little different. We do thought work. We don't do meal plans and stuff. So that would be up to you. Is there anybody in here who's a tribe member that would say that they were a food addict? I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes. So how I teach things is like what we think about things. Let me look into that. Allie, why don't you email us at support@pmptribe.com and let me talk to you. Let me just email you back on that. Because I understand there are people who are true addicts in the world, but I don't really care if it's food or porn or sex. I mean, well, I guess porn and sex are the same. Like drugs and stuff. There's an unraveling of breaking the connection there, but the majority of it is all the thoughts. The only reason why we're addicted to things is because we're emotionally not stable to take care of our needs in the moment. So we're looking for these outside sources to do it. And then you become addicted to that piece of it. So, I mean, some of it for you may be I know that a lot of food addicts do really good with doing things like no sugar, no flour. We teach it. Very few of my tribe members do it. But I have that in there more for people who have issues with PCOS, autoimmune, thyroid, diabetes. They tend to do really well with that type of eating. So they're doing it more for their health. But I also know that some food addicts do very well with that too. So we just do a lot more work on listening to your body. We don't count calories. We try to make sure that we understand why we're eating and that we understand that we can handle our emotions without food. Let's see. If I previously took the free course, will I get the emails, etc., for what is coming? Tony, the free course and the challenge are two different things. The free course is the very first thing anyone takes. It's offered year round. If you just go to pnp411.com, the free course is always there. The challenge only happens 4 times a year. So we're doing one in January. It's a little different than the free course. The free course sets you up on understanding how to plan ahead, how to commit to where you are, and how to look back at your week without judging. That's really what the free course is about. It's more about the mindset of starting off with small, doable behaviors. The challenge, we kind of dive a little deeper into some other basics and some things to supplement with that. So we talk about your water and your sleep and a few things along those lines. We dive a little bit deeper into why we're doing that plan. Stacy, can you explain again how putting all my extras like bread, dessert, snacks on my 24-hour plan will help me? Because you're doing it anyway, Stacy. Right now, what you're doing is you're eating behind your back. It's just you're just gossiping. That shit don't work. It's you're telling your best friend, you're smiling to her face with your food plan. Oh, look, it's my perfect food plan. Then you're going off to another guy and going, that girl's a bitch. I'm just telling you right now. When you're eating, you're stabbing your best friend in the back when you're not eating on the plan. So what you want to do is the first thing you have to do is if you're going to eat that shit, you need to be aware of eating that shit. And I mean aware before. Not beforehand. I mean, not afterward. Like if you're doing it consistently, you're creating the habit, like the wrong habit, the habit of not eating what's on your plan. You're setting up the habit of eating behind your back. You're setting up the habit of feeling like shit for the things you ate. No one loses weight that way. Like that's not the formula for weight loss. So if you're like eating that shit every single day, but you're crafting the perfect plan, then what I want you to do is I just want you to put that shit on your plan every day and be honest with yourself. Now we're going to practice honesty. Now we're going to practice being super uncomfortable with our plan because we know we're putting things on there that do not match our results. Like I'm not saying that if you put bread, dessert, and snacks on your plan all day long, that you're going to lose weight. But you ain't going to lose weight eating behind your own damn back all the time and then beating yourself up for it and feeling hopeless and frustrated. That for sure doesn't work. So now what we want to do is we want to be super aware, know exactly what the hell we're doing. And then we start giving ourselves the option to make a better choice. Like to say like I put this down every day and I eat it and I'm not losing weight. No shit, Sherlock. Before you weren't putting it down every day and you still weren't losing weight. So now what do you want to do? Do you want to keep these things or do you want to take one off? Are you ready to take one off? And leveling up gets easier when you're motivated to level up. Right now, like she asked, like, how will that make leveling up easier? I'm going to tell you, when you're eating behind your back, most of you aren't leveling up. You're restricting. You're saying like, I can't eat all that stuff. There's no way I can have these things. I'll never be able to eat like I want to and lose weight. Yeah. Who the hell is going to stay consistent if your belief system is, I'll never be able to eat and be like I want to be for the rest of my life in order to be in the body I want? Like I have to become this person I don't like. I have to create this life that I'm going to hate. Yeah, no wonder most of you aren't running towards it. So it's a matter of doing it the other way. Thank you, Nicole. I've been telling everyone about you. You hit the nail on the head with every excuse we all have made on why we don't get healthy. Let me just tell you, the reason why is because I've used all of them. It's called vast experience. I mean, seriously. Even in maintenance and stuff, guys, I practice like a beast, all this stuff. I'm constantly having to manage my mind. I'm constantly, like I overeat too. I was telling on the podcast, we did the podcast the other day, and I think it's coming out January 6th. I was talking about how last week, like my husband, like we never have chips in the house. So I don't practice having chips in the house. And it's not because I said, you can't have chips because I can't eat them. It's just like, we just don't usually have them. Well, he ordered chips last week. I swear to God, it was like, who the hell am I? Like 2 or 3 days, I've sat down with the chips at lunch and added a little extra going, it's all right. You've already lost your weight. Man, like all of the excuses came in. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even following my plan. It took me 3 days to catch on to myself. To literally say like, okay, seriously, are you going to start just eating off your plans? Because this is going to be really quick. You need to watch this. And so anyway, you can hear all about the story on the podcast, but I threw the chips away. I was just like, I looked at Chris and I said, either eat your damn chips or I'm tossing them. I was like, I just don't even want to look at them. And he said, well, just toss them. He was like, I didn't even like them. I'm like, oh God. I was like, you mean I've been looking at those chips all week? You didn't even like them? He's like, no. And I was like, why didn't you just throw them away? And then, of course, I'm coaching him. And he's like, well, I didn't want to waste them. I said, okay. So they're on my ass now. And I get to work that shit off. And like, you didn't want to waste them. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I run a weight loss website. I just looked at him and I said, I just want you to know this is amazing. Oh, man, y'all, I'm sweating like a hog in this dress. Leslie, you can't find where to sign up because there's no signups for coaches hours. Remember, all coaches hours, we put this in the Massive Action Line, your newsletter, and it's also on the calendar. There's no appointments for these. You just show up, you raise your hand, and then as people get coached, the coaches are just going through people during those calls. That way we can get through a lot of people. Woo! Chelsea Linehan was able to put her wedding ring on again for the first time in over a year. She's down 17 pounds as a groupie. That's amazing. Cheryl, I need you most days. You don't need me, Cheryl Bennett. You have you. Seriously. Like, you've lost like 20 something pounds? I forget, like, you're way in the Century Club. Like, guys, it's all of my girls that have, like, especially if you've lost a lot of weight, y'all don't need me. Start telling yourself, I have all I need. I have tools and I have me. Like, you're your best bet. Always. I don't even care if you haven't had success, guys. When you start adopting the mindset that you are your best bet, when you start realizing that you can have your own back, everything in your life starts changing. You start moving towards the things you want in this life rather than running from them. Like, just think about it for a minute. Be willing to be the one thing you would bet on in this life. I have Hashimoto's and I've been trying to follow your plan. I'll be perfect for 2 or 3 weeks and see absolutely no results. So I quit. Okay, so why would you quit if you're not seeing results? How do I get out of my head and quit thinking that it is the disease's fault when I'm not seeing results? Here's how you do that. Blaming the disease means you quit. So that doesn't work, so stop doing that. It's not the disease's fault. You know what the fault is? Maybe it takes you 6 weeks. But oh my God, you quit every 3 weeks all because of a thought about Hashimoto's. Do you want to bet on Hashimoto's or do you want to bet on Heidi? You have the option. If after 3, here's what always amazes me. I've been eating the perfect plan for 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not getting the weight loss results I want. So rather than looking at the process, maybe there's a change I need to make or whatever, I think I'll just quit and eat like an asshole and see if I can just see if that will work. No. But that's what we do in our brain. Like, if I'm not gonna get a jackpot payoff on the scale, here's what I refuse to do. I refuse to have the reward that I was willing to do my plan for 3 weeks. I don't want to reward myself in the result line with that I actually followed something, that I'm smart enough to figure this out. Like, I don't want to give myself the gift of confidence that I'm doing things. What I want to do is I want to shame myself based upon what the scale does or does not do. Quit blaming your Hashimoto's, because I'm going to tell you right now, when you blame things like that, it makes you feel like ass. There's no upside to it, so just stop doing it. It doesn't even matter if it's the Hashimoto's. The point of it is that when you get wrapped up that Hashimoto's is the death nail in the coffin of your results, you feel like crap, you screw yourself over. Not Hashimoto's. When you quit and start eating like a donk, that's not Hashimoto's. That's Heidi. Hashimoto's can't do anything to you. It's just sitting there as a diagnosis. Just like, here I am. I'm your diagnosis. What kind of nightmare would you like for me to create for you today? No. It's like, I am your diagnosis. How do you want to start thinking about it? Like, I'd be curious, Heidi, if you followed that plan for 12 weeks, what would happen? Have you even thought about that? Oh, maybe 3 weeks isn't long enough. Maybe I need to make a few tweaks and go for 12. Just see what happens. pnp411.com, Beth. Ooh, Rebecca. On the wait list for January and have been doing the free course the last 2 weeks with great results. Bought a Peloton bike yesterday. Yes. and use your name as a reference. Awesome. Make sure you friend me. I am PNP Tribe Queen. I am all about followers. I'm like trying to collect Peloton followers. I don't know why I don't really get anything from it, but every now and then I'll take a class and somebody that I'm following is in the class. I'm like, oh, we're riding together. I swear to God, I am so all about community. It's unreal. Whatever you got to do. I'm struggling. This is a future baby. I'm struggling bad with transition to eating after work. I do great all day at work, but when I walk in the door, I want to eat anything and everything. I'm working on staying in control, but not being super successful with it. Do like I talked about earlier, Amanda, what I want you to do is I want you to visualize you walking into the door and it being hard. And I want you to visualize the things that you're going to tell yourself and you changing the conversation. I'm a really big believer in visualization, guys, and here's why. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's actually happened and what you're imagining. It just thinks all that's really happening, and so it accesses those things. The more, like when you have something that's not working for you, the more that you can visualize yourself doing it differently, talking different, experiencing what it's going to be like, and you like being okay with that and being like, I'm all in on it being uncomfortable and stuff. Your brain has something to access. What it's doing for most of you though, when you don't visualize how you're going to change it and stuff, you're just remembering the way it's been. And so you keep replaying that over and over again, and you wonder why every day you repeat the same pattern. Your brain's like, oh, we're supposed to do it like we did yesterday. We're supposed to talk ourselves into eating. Boom. Grace, guess what I got for Christmas? Arrival in Wonderland yesterday. Best present I ever gave myself. Awesome. I'm so proud of myself. I have finished every single Christmas thing. I've ordered it all. It's all on the way. It's amazing. Emily's blanket comes today. Mine came from QVC. Awesome, Judy. Oh, you're going to love it. Does the weighted blanket get hot? Mine doesn't, but don't put it like a bunch of, like I put a sheet and then that weighted blanket right over me. Man, I love that thing. PNP Tribe enrollment's going to open on December 30th. You'll start, trust me, there's plenty of notifications going out. Mine is a 16-pound one. Yes, you can wash it. I don't remember. My husband does, y'all gonna just laugh, but my husband does all the laundry. So like we send it out, he takes care of bagging it up, putting it away, doing all the things. And then the stuff that we wash at the house, he does all of it. This is how it got started. We were, what was it? Oh, I was doing something where I traveled for P&P or something. I was gone for a little bit. And so Chris started doing laundry and whatnot. And when I came back, he was just like, he had gotten into this rhythm and he had these patterns and stuff. And I looked at him and I said, oh my gosh, you're so good at that, babe. He said, yeah, like I just wanted to optimize it if I'm going to have to do it for a little bit. He was like, are you ready to take it back over? And I was like, no. I was like, I don't have near the patterns you do or the rhythm. And I was like, guess whose job this is now? And he was like, then he became the king of laundry in our house. I'm like, when you do a really good job around here, guess what you get? A promotion. I listened to your podcast about the holidays and I'm working on changing the way I think about the holidays. Instead of focusing on food and drink, I am choosing to focus on being with my loved ones. Any tips? Yeah, Scarlett, it goes back to like this visualization thing. I would take each one of your loved ones, think ahead of time about what you love about them. Like what you want to notice, the conversations you would love to have, the experiences you would like to be fully present for, so that you can be on the lookout for that. Because what we normally do is we think about all the food we're going to eat, and then we're on the lookout for all the food. And we forget to be mindful about all the things that we want out of the holidays with our loved ones. Like what experiences do you want to have with them? What kinds of like emotions do you want to feel with them and stuff? That would be really good for you. I can't find your podcast. Apple says it doesn't have it. Look for Losing 100 Pounds. Fit and Fat is spelled PHIT-N-PHAT. If you just type in Losing 100 LBS, you should find it. Worst case scenario, you can go to phit.click/podcast, and that will take you straight to iTunes. Everybody's getting weighted blankets. It's weighted blanket Christmas. Any suggestions for perimenopausal symptoms? Push through it. Like, I don't really have many for perimenopausal symptoms. Since you're in the groupies, tag Paula Weirheim. She's the mentor. She does a lot of doTERRA oils, and she's the only person that I recommend to anybody for doTERRA and stuff. So, I would just ask her. She has a lot of Claricalm is really good. Kathy, my co-host on the podcast, she uses Claricalm a lot with her hormones. Just drinking water, exercising, guys, all of that's good for all that stuff. Hello, Pillow Sister. I'm so excited when you followed me back. I'm so happy you were loving the bite too. This is Katie_N_Callie, if anybody wants to follow her. I think you just talked me into becoming a New Year baby. That's hilarious. I'm on the waiting list, but I'm scared to invest my money and time when everyone keeps telling me I will never lose the weight because of my Hashimoto's. Heidi, why do you believe everyone else? Seriously, go back to what I just said. Are you willing to, guys, why do you ever think other people's opinions are so much more important than yours? Why do you give a shit what they think about your Hashimoto's? I give a shit more about what you think about it. How you're thinking about your Hashimoto's and how you decide to think about what other people think about your Hashimoto's is going to be everything in terms of you getting the results you want. You got to drop your Hashimoto's story. There's things you can do for it with plenty of girls in our group who have all kinds of thyroid issues, cancer, you name it, they've got it. But we don't use those things against ourselves. You're using your disease against you. Whether you join or not, you need to stop using Hashimoto's against yourself. I want you to clearly see what's happening for you. I have Hashimoto's, period. Everything else is your thoughts about it. And your thoughts are either going to drive you to feel motivated or demotivated. Right now, you're using it against yourself. And when you're motivated, you're going to try things. You're always going to be tweaking and refining. You're never going to break a plan because Hashimoto's didn't get you to lose 3 pounds in 3 weeks. Think about it. In 3 weeks of following a plan, 3 pounds. And you're saying, I'm out. I should just quit. This will be great. Let me overeat a little bit. That'll really help Hashimoto's. No, that's because you're demotivated. You're allowing yourself to think things about Hashimoto's that doesn't keep you doing things that you know in the long term are going to benefit you health-wise. And that's where your brain needs to be. I need you more focused on, what does Heidi think? I don't give a fuck what anybody else says. I don't even give a fuck what I say. Unless you decide to believe something about it, it will not matter. Can you post in the live notes where you ordered your blanket? Yeah, it's Sensacalm. If anybody wants to put it in the comments, it's SENSA Calm, CALM.com. I think that's their website. They're based out of Chattanooga. If you just Google weighted blanket, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Sensacalm, I'm sure you'll get the website. Here's Carla. She's talking to Heidi. Do not listen to them. You can totally do this. I'm 46 and thought I'd never lose the 90 pounds I had lost and gained. I've been doing PNP since June 11th, and I've lost 52 pounds. Boom. Listen to your body. Don't listen to dicks. Here's another person with thyroid. She says, the most important thing I've learned to do is not blame anything on my disease, but just continue to do the work until I figure it out. Stephanie, I started following you. I figured out that I binge every day when I bring my 6-year-old home from school. I don't understand why she is such a trigger. She is a really good kid. I just don't get it and have tried thought work. It's probably not her. What I would do is I would take her out of there. I would just say, during this time, after I brought my child home, I start thinking. That's what's triggering the binge. It's not your child. Like, you think it's your child. Your child, this is just the time that you're doing it. It's what you're thinking during that time. It may be, guys, a lot of times it's not even having thoughts about her. Like, a lot of us, we get scared of solving our problem because we think, oh, I probably am not a good mother or whatever. It may just be, I'm not ready for second shift. So many people binge and overeat between 4 and 6 because they know they've got bath time, homework, cleaning the kitchen, whatever it is that's going on. They're not ready for the second shift of the day. That is what their thought is. And then they feel tired and they're just looking for some relief and a break. It's learning how to rewire all of that. That may be where it's at. If you want on the wait list, guys, you can go to www.pnptribe.com. The wait list is there. You just sign up for it. It'll get you for sure on all the challenges and all that kind of stuff. You guys will not have a problem finding it, but when you're on the wait list, it gives me a really good idea of how to prepare for, when we open and all that kind of good stuff. So, what is the most weight someone has lost in your group? Oh gosh. See, Christy Tuttle is down 200 pounds. Guys, is it Christy? Is Christy Tuttle Stewart our biggest loser? I don't know if Betsy and Mary Jo is on here. There may be someone who's a little bit more than 200. Let's see. We have quite a few that are well into the hundreds. I mean, Missy's like at 157 or 151. Cheryl, you're down like 120. Lindsay's like at 120, maybe a little more now. I bet you it's Christy Stewart. If I had to guess, she would be our all-time biggest loser right now. That's funny. And we may have one more. I want to say we have one more person that's in what we don't really have a name for it, but it'd be Double Century Club at this point. PNP Tribe, Nebraska. Y'all are getting together on the 27th. That's awesome. Here's another girl with Hashimoto's. She's on 45 Hashimoto's and a partial thyroidectomy. I've lost 37 pounds total and 23 since finding Corinne in July. It's coming off slowly, but the program works. Here's Ashley. She's lost 50 pounds. I've made mistakes, but I've never given up. The basics work. One of my tribe members. Y'all are so amazing. All right, guys. Is there a point when you have to start looking closer at the macronutrients to reach a certain goal rather than just going through the hunger cues? I've never once had to tell somebody, oh, it's time to break out the macros. Just haven't. Like, I've literally, like, in our tribe, like, guys, how often have I said, time to get out the macros? You don't have to do complicated math to lose your weight. Your body will always tell you what it needs. Now, if you're wanting to get a little bit thinner and what you're doing is not working, you don't need macros. You just need to change it up. You may need to feel a little bit more hungry every now and then. And I don't mean like starve and chew your knuckles off. I mean, you might just be like, okay, I normally, when I start getting hungry, eat. I'm going to wait like an extra 30 minutes to see what happens. Like, that's about as complicated as we get. I just don't think you need to be complicated. I'm eating to a 2 only when I'm hungry, leaving food on my plate, and I feel like I can't get the scale to move. Is this just a patience thing? I've only got 5 pounds to lose. I've lost a total of 60. Real easy fix for you, Lindsay. When you're hungry, wait 30 more minutes and see what happens. You may be, when you're like, a lot of times what happens, that last few pounds just means that, like, 2 to 2 has gotten you there. It may just be that you've always, when you've hit a -2, never looked to see if it goes back up to a 0 before it goes back to a -2. We always think the hunger scale, guys, this is like inside tribe stuff, so don't ask, like, what's the hunger scale? I'm not going to go into all of that stuff. But basically what happens is when you're on your scale, like a lot of times you'll hit a -2. If you wait, the hunger goes away. Your body starts eating the calories off of your body. It'll find those 5 pounds and start chewing on that. And it'll take the hunger cues away. It's like, oh, okay, well, we're not eating now. So sometimes even just doing that is a small hack that can help you. All right, guys, that's it. Let's call it. I need to drink my coffee. Mandy Dugan is down 70 pounds. She was, let me scroll down real quick, just see if there's somebody. Mary Jo's on here. She would know. Showed up, Corinne. Good, Felicia. I left you a message in your Facebook post, and I hope you read it. If you don't come to camp, I may come to Dallas. I'm actually coming to Dallas the week before. You do not need me in your face. You've already signed up for camp. You were coming to camp, so get over it. Let's see. I was trying to see if there was anybody else. I guess not. All right. PNP411.com. Get the free course, guys. I promise you it's worth its weight in gold, and it's free. You get a video and a workbook. Losing 100 pounds with Fit and Fat. We have a podcast on Friday. The lives are on Saturdays. They're also on the podcast. So if you miss me live, you can always listen to the replay. And then don't forget, we are starting the challenge on December the 26th. Also, if you want to join the tribe and you want it as a Christmas present, we have a very simple solution for you. Email us at support@pnptribe.com, and you can tell your we'll give you the information. The loved one can email us whatever you want, and they can either buy your $289 to join, and then you're going to take care of your monthly membership. It starts 30 days after you join, $49 a month, or they can buy your first entire year for you. So it's up to you. You can do whatever you want. But if you want that information, it's going out in email today for everybody who's on my list. But if you want us to take care of it for you so that you can have a very Merry Christmas and an extremely Happy New Year, then just email us at support@pnptribe.com. We'll get you all the information, everything you need. All right, guys. Y'all have a good week. I will see you next Wednesday. Bye, y'all.